So I thought it might be helpful just to go through the rhythms of your two pieces at the moment. So minuet and trio. I'm just going to do the right hand and I'm going to count in 3 and then 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, whoops, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2, a 3, a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2, a 3, a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2, a 3 and 1, 2. Just leaving the trio aside for the moment. I think I suggested maybe for these repeated crotchets, these ones, that you count a half count in between. 1 and 2 and 3, and just to make sure you're not rushing them too quickly. Okay, they do need to be spaced apart. The other thing, I know you struggle to join that to there, but it comes well, it comes 3 times on the first page. The other one is not so difficult. That's much easier, isn't it? But we want to try, if possible, to link them together. So the 4th finger needs to join to that chord. Okay. As far as this little semiquaver is concerned, I suggested leaving it as late as you can. We don't want it to be like a double dotted quaver, which it could be, but it's better that way round than it not having the dotted rhythm at all. So at the moment, I think it's best just to leave it as late as you can. And what you said, to link it to the next chord, is the right idea. Da-dum, okay? So space those crotchets out and try and get these quavers up to speed. And again, the little semiquaver, bum, ba bum, ba bum, okay? Onto the second line, ba bum. Space them out. Da-dum, da-dum, bum, bum. I'm going to carry on again. Da, da, dum. So leave that semiquaver late. Last line, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, this little bit here you're doing really well with, because that can be quite problematic, getting that. Just make sure you work at that as well. Then the left hand, if we put it together, left hand of course doesn't have so much rhythm. 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2, a 3, a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1 and short, short. 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2, a 3, a 1, 2, 3, a 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2, a 3 and 1, 2. Okay, now the staccato, we've marked staccato in, but I'm not making it really clipped. It's more about separating. That's why I put it in. Okay, it's more about separating the notes in places rather than joining them. Then the trio, 1 and 2 and 3 and da 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 dum, da 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2. Okay, so the trio eventually will need to be on that 3rd beat of the bar from the first page. So the first page you finish 1, 2, 3, and. So try if you can to practice it going straight onto that beat. So obviously the first bar of the trio, the bar 17, you have to count the quaver rest. 1 and 2, and it makes you stop, which is what we want to get with that first bar in the minuet. Okay, then make sure that when you have this run up to the A, that you wait on the A a full crotchet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. Big lean down on that E at the top there. Okay, so we have got some of these down ups, these slurs, where you lean heavily on the first one and then sort of snap off at the end. Down up or down up. So they come a few times. Also comes in the left hand in bar 20 at the end. So you've got 2 in a row there. Okay, do the whole. I'll do a whole of that last section because that's the bit that's a bit of a meaty bit there from the end of bar 20. Really work at that hand separately because you need to be aware of what that left hand is doing. It's an important part of the music in its own right. We often think, oh, the left hand's just joining in with the right hand, but here it's very important by itself. Hold the F, join over to the E. Okay, so with that last section, don't try it hands together. All right, we'll put it hands together when we see each other. The rest of it, the left hand, once you've got these chords, swap and change the fingering. You can put that together. Sorry. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Okay. The finger changing in the right hand really comes into its own here because it emphasizes, when you change it, emphasizes the first beat of the bar. That's the idea of it. And the same at the beginning of bar 20. So prior to that, you're playing, and then everything changes. We're not accenting it, but we are feeling the first beat of the bar there. And by changing the fingering, that helps for that to come across. Before I go, the other one is I Hear What You Say. I'm just going to play this with both hands, but again, not too quickly. So the rhythm, right hand, here it is. Okay, so when you put the left hand in that second bar, they're quite a quick one after the other. Like that, and then similarly on the second line. So come in straight after the other if you listen carefully. Okay, so quite a lot of places where the right hand needs to come in before the left hand. So make sure you get that okay. the right hand on its own from bar 9. So we're holding this A, then playing it again with the D, then holding the 4th finger here and letting go when I move the hand. Then in bar 11, I'm holding this E just a little bit until I get to the 2nd C sharp there. Hold the A here until you play it again. Then keep holding it until each time it's repeated. Da, 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 da. That little bit. You've got to slip the 4 in. Okay, so a little careful work on that. If you do the left hand, just make sure that you notice from bar 8 to 9, there's a tie on the E. So if I play bar 8 in the left hand, so this thumb is tied and you just play the A on its own in the next bar and then the chord together. So just make sure it's a little detail that could be missed quite easily. Okay.